Property Unplugged for this Tuesday. I did
That's
actually...
weird. You just said that before.
I did. I just said it and I didn't press live. So hello everyone.
Anyway.
Welcome to our unprofessional show.
We had a hater last week, didn't we?
We did.
Someone hates us.
Someone hates us. It's always a good thing when someone hates you. You've activated something within themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not us.
She didn't like what we
She
were
didn't
doing.
like
She
it.
thought it was terrible.
Gave her a laugh,
Anyway,
apparently.
whatever.
It doesn't matter. All right, so...
Hope she's watching.
Yeah, welcome back if you are.
Probably is. I think she secretly enjoys it.
Yeah, I think so. Generally, people that hate on you do.
Yeah.
They always come back because they can't help
Because
themselves.
she loves us.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome. And we are talking about properties today. What can actually stop a sale? We're lucky here. We're lucky in Australia. Like, if you Google like this sort of question, it does come up with US stuff where it says, you know, make sure that you tell the easement, you know, about easements, covenants, and all that sort of thing. But we're lucky because our conveyancers do all this work for us.
Yeah.
So that's sort of something that we don't have to worry about. But we do have a duty of disclosure about other things of the property, which include...
Go for it.
Yes. Mark's just like, yep, no. So like defects, right? Property defects. Like roofing. What can happen with roofing that would stop a sale going through?
Oh, look, I think, I guess if there's, we always say with buyers, it's buyer beware, you know, there is, they have to do their due diligence, and hence why, well, I'm not a professional builder. And a lot of, 8 out of 10 contracts will probably have a pest or a building clause within them. Yeah. And I absolutely never discourage them from putting them in, because it's really important that buyers understand exactly what they're buying. And you don't want buyers coming back saying, oh my God, their house is full of termites. And I know there's agents out there that will discourage, oh no, keep take your conditions out, etc. So it is very much about the buyers doing their due diligence, because what we say is irrelevant, really. We can say the roof's fine, but apparently it's not. I can't look at certain structural things and define what's going on. That's certainly for a professional.
That's it.
To do that. But, you know, obviously you want to, I always also say to my vendors, if there's issues with the property that you know about, just fix it. Yeah. You know, just get them done, because they'll get picked up.
Yeah. Like things like appliances not working.
Yep.
Damp in the home.
Yep. There's heaps of things that, you know, and then often back in the day before, you know, when I first started, you'd always come back to a vendor and say, oh, look, the dishwasher's not working. Oh, well, that didn't work when we moved in. Right. So those conversations I have at the start, ensuring that, you know, if there are issues with that are going to arise at some stage, whether it's arising during the contract stage, that period of building inspections or whatever, or the day after they move in. Yeah. Nothing worse.
Yeah, this is a thing.
But it's also one of those things, you might have someone move in and 3 days later the hot water service goes. It's some...
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it's always bound for something like that to happen. But
yes, that's the thing. But I guess the other thing is that if you can't afford something to fix structurally, like if it's going to cost a little bit of money, that's okay. It's just being prepared to put your price point down.
Yeah, compromise, right? Exactly. Compromise on price. Yeah. And, you know, there's certain things that freak buyers out. And if the vendors are watching and they're wondering what are the things that really concern a buyer, well, it's typically structural. Like if you've got older homes, a lot of homes in Mildura, they're on stumps.
Yeah, that's right.
And you might have just 1 or 2. And I had a recent example where there was a home that was renovated and there was a couple of stumps that were left unattended to, where they should have been fixed. But once you've renovated a house and you then have to pop them back up, then all that work can be undone. If you've done tiling in a bathroom or fitted shower screens or plaster or paint, buyers will be like, oh, well, I'm going to undo all that work, so maybe I'll just move to the next one. Yeah. So it's one of the biggest issues, stumping. You know, every buyer, or not every buyer, most buyers will walk in and say, when was it re-stumped? You know, what's good stumps? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't actually go under the house when I'll do an appraisal.
I mean,
it's not something I wouldn't fit under it for starters. But you know, there's certain things that really freak a buyer out, and that's the structural integrity of a home.
Yeah, cool. If you got any questions, guys, like pop them in now. You've got Mark right here to answer your questions in real time. So, what are you seeing the most where people aren't prepared to fix, or are you finding
stumping's one, because it's a fair cost.
Yeah.
But if it's a full re-stump, that's understandable. Yes. It's 15 or 20, 25 grand.
Yeah, that's right.
It depends where everyone's at.
Yeah.
With financially, and that's understandable. But if it's a couple of stumps, but you know, granted, some people just don't know that it's that important. So
yeah, true. That's right.
You know, some people just don't want to spend any more money than they've already spent. Maybe it's not worthwhile as well.
Yep.
You know, if you've got to do a new roof, you know, there's obviously structurally, the structural integrity of the home is the crucial thing.
Yep.
Water damage.
Water damage.
People freak out. They look up and see a patch of water, and it's like, no, I'm out. Yeah, I'm literally walking out the door.
Because it could be a simple $1,000 fix, or it could be massive. So
and I hear it all the time, and I'll often say to a vendor, you know, there's a bit of water damage there. It's pretty obvious. Oh, that's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Perfect, but fix it.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
You know, if understandable, like the issue is, and this is where it comes down to, if they're expecting the buyers to believe me.
Yeah.
As an agent, right? We've got that stereotype. It's not a great stereotype we've got. Unfortunately, if I was to say to a buyer, oh, that's been there for 20 years, I don't really think they'd believe me.
No.
And nor should they.
No, that's right.
Because, you know, and who's to say the vendor's telling me the truth, right?
Yep.
So it's really comes down to ensuring that you're taking away any objections, big or small.
Yes.
Within reason, that you can.
Absolutely.
Because as soon as you've got, picture this, you open the house, we're in this big living room, there's a big water patch, there's 15 people in here, and someone goes at the top of their voice, oh, look, there's water damage. And he does it on purpose, right? This buyer.
And everyone, of course he does.
And everyone looks up at the roof.
Yeah.
And then all those buyers, they're gone.
Yeah, that's right. And he's like, ooh, now I'm in a position to get a bargain.
It's such a simple fix, and then people will go, if I have to do that, then I have to do the rest of the ceiling. Well, okay, that will be frustrating for you.
Yep.
But it is going to be a crucial thing.
Right. That's it.
And it's as simple as that first opening. It can absolutely undo all your good work.
Yeah.
You might have done all this other work. You might have renovated the kitchen. You might have done so much other stuff, and that can be the thing that will. You know, you might lose. We all talk about the power of buyers and, you know, the negotiation at the moment, the amount of buyers that are offering on properties. Like I've had a ridiculous amount of offers in the last 10 days on properties.
Wow.
You lose it. You lose that momentum. You take 2 or 3 buyers out of a situation, you're left with one. You get a result, but you're not getting that 10 or 15 grand result extra that you might achieve without that little water patch.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I think the thing is if it is a water patch that is coming back at the same time every year or whatever, it could be the air conditioner, anything,
it could be a simple fix.
But if it hasn't, if it's an old one and it's just a stain on the paint, just, you know, fix it up.
Yeah, if you have to do the whole
it
ceiling.
could be just a room. Like if you've
got
got
this room.
Because we keep looking at the ceiling.
I wonder if the people watching are looking up as well.
Yeah, they might. Right?
Yeah.
Have a look at their roofs, their ceilings. But the thing is that if you are lucky enough, and most houses do have ceiling white as their ceiling color, then doing just one room is fine. Yeah. Like it will be okay.
It can be done.
Of course it can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, paint does age, but we're lucky with ceiling whites that it doesn't age as much as what the colors do. Yeah. So you can definitely do one room and you wouldn't really notice that the others aren't done.
And the other thing is, I reckon the ceiling's the easiest thing to paint as far as making a house feel fresh, new.
Yep.
Clean, like you think of families of balls that have hit the roof and you see all those little marks.
Finger marks.
It can change the whole dynamic if you paint the whole ceiling, right?
Fresh.
So, There's
fresh
a tip.
and crisp. There's a tip
Yeah.
for sure. And really, like, and it is painful because, you know,
Yeah.
but it's taping it up, doing the work,
Yeah.
and not, you know. And I think, like, this is getting to a little bit of styling tips and decorating tips, but really taping up and just making sure that you're cutting in properly, because
Yeah.
that's another objection when
Yeah.
you've done a DIY home job, like to do painting, and you've got a colour that's all over your cornices.
Yeah.
That's just, you know, a bit there and a bit there.
How you going?
How's that, you know?
So remember when you sold your property? I sold that one for you about 4 years ago.
Oh, at Henderson.
And I made you pull that step out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the perception of
Yep.
when a buyer pulls up, the first thing they're going to see is your facade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do it when I rock up to a house. The first thing I do is take in what the house looks like from the front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because how's that going to translate with your photography? What's
Yep.
the first thing you're going to buyer's going to see? Normally, that's our hero shot in the advertising.
Yeah.
Is the front, not always, but
Absolutely.
most of the time.
Well, the reason why you did that was because
It looked like the house was crooked,
that's
but
right,
it wasn't.
because
It was
it
the
was
step.
uneven. The step was
Yeah.
uneven. It was might have been a home job, maybe 50,
You didn't want to do it though,
20
did you?
years ago. Well, it was just like
No,
how.
you did not want to do it.
Well, it was going to be a big job.
It was a big job.
It was a big job because there were old tiles, right? You know, the old-fashioned 80s tiles that were on top, you know, of a slab, and they were cracked, and it was just like, well, are we prepared to go, okay, we're going to lose some money here, or is it just going to hinder the sale itself? Not just
Yeah.
the money, but
Yeah.
hindering the sale. And that's when Mark's like, just, pushed us to the...
Yeah, there's certain things that,
Yeah.
and that's you know, if buyers want objections, if they're looking for something for a reason not to buy a home,
Yeah.
they're looking for a reason. First of all, they're standing there going, "Hang on, if that's looking, there's something going on here."
Yeah.
As soon as that element of doubt creeps in, that's it. Like that's really hard for them to then convince themselves that this is, unless they go and get a
That's
builder.
so true.
But it's you're really capturing that buyer in the first
7 seconds,
yeah,
I say.
and then you know once they're in and but if there's no objections and it's pretty and it looks good and it's fresh and it presents well, it doesn't have to be brand new as long as it presents really well, and you know there's no objections as far as stains and a loose roof or weeds in the gutter,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yep.
That it's so easy to fix that I
Yep.
think that you know, I think some vendors become a bit blind to.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily they don't want to do it, but
They're living with it.
Well, they're living with it.
Yeah.
They see it every day, so it's not something that they.
That's right.
So there's those little things you wander around your home, and you really sort of take that tour, and you jump into the shoes of as a buyer for the day. You start to see things. You're like, oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's true.
You do, and it's really taking your you know the fact that you're a homeowner, you're living in the home, and looking at it from as a buyer, walk through. What would a buyer see? Should I change this? Should I change that?
Yep, definitely. And it's easy to feel sometimes a little bit offended, like, well, this is how we live. This is you know, it's not about that. It's changing or turning a home into a house to sell.
Yeah.
And that's the big point of difference. If you can get your mind around that, and then you can look at the carpets and go, well, yeah, these are looking a little bit shabby. We've lived in them for 10 years now, and it's probably something that we could possibly, you know, make over, change them. You know, new carpets make a lot of difference.
Big time. And that's the importance of having a really good plan, and a plan that if you're thinking of selling in 3 or 4 or 5 months, start that plan now.
Yeah.
Because if that's something, you know that tradies are busy at the moment. So if you're going to do certain things like that, you want to make sure that you're onto it now. To be sure you're ready for when you're ready to hit the market. So there's a lot of vendors now going, I'm going to sell in spring. Well, now's the time to literally get ready for spring. Because
flying.
June, July, August, you've got 2 or 3 months. If you've got things to do, tradies to lock in, then you know now's the time.
Yeah, definitely. Can you read that? It's small, isn't it?
Little bit.
Closer. What's he saying?
I'm not sure if
Who
I
is
can.
it? I can
Here
read
we
that.
go.
You're right.
A little more work to do. Getting appraisal done for the house. Am I better waiting until the renos are finished? It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter, Renee. At like the end of the day, it's always a good opportunity to have those conversations now.
Yeah.
You know, if there's things, because everyone, like even for myself doing my extension, like there's things that I've got no idea if we should do it this way or that way, whether the experience you've got. So sometimes you're renovating a house, as we've said in the past, you know, maybe don't do this or don't do that.
Yeah.
You might not be putting your money in your right areas.
Yes.
It's just a conversation, and it's up to, like Renee, it's up to you. If you want an appraisal now, I like to have that process where I can come up through the renovation to see how things are going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up to each individual. We can talk about the market now, what it's potentially going to be like, who you're targeting your buyers to, who's your demographic.
That's right.
And you know,
it actually works a little bit in your favor if you do it that way, because if you come in and talk about the demographic, then some things that you can do to that, you know, direct towards that.
100%, yeah.
That can really help, can be really helpful.
There was a house I looked at last week. They had a space out the back under main roof that was kind of like a non-usable. It was where they stored a bit of stuff, but it was under main roof, and it was right next to their bathroom and right next to their master. And I said, so, you know, why is that there? And they just said, oh, it's just where the hot water service. I said, well, get rid of that, put an ensuite. You know, because it literally allowed them to have just build in a wall on the outside, and then potentially add 30 or 40 grand's worth of value once they've gone from a 3-bed 1-bath to a 3-bed 2-bath, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Given they're in a good location. So sometimes people have great ideas. I had someone around my house the other day, and he gave me that many good ideas from a landscape point of view that I had not thought of. And it's until you're in the industry, sometimes you don't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a. But yeah, anytime, Renee. I think an appraisal now would make sense for you, but that's up to you.
Definitely. And we will comment with text with a reply to your questions, any questions, just in case somebody else wants to know that stuff and aren't watching the live. So we'll put in a little. So if we're answering you twice, don't think we're crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy-ish.
Crazy. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
What else is there to add? Really?
Oh, look, it's structural. Roofs, stumps, cracks in the house. You know, you often have little hairline cracks. You know, again, everyone says, oh, there's cracks in every house. Yeah, but again, once that creeps in, it's pretty hard to get out of your mind. You know,
that's true.
You see people say, oh, all the houses crack in this area. That's fine. You don't want to be one of those.
Yeah.
Even though, like,
true.
Hairline cracks happen all the time in houses, but if you just have the ability to cover them up and paint them, it'd be absolutely what you do. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Make it all look nice and fresh. Another one is rollers on your sliding doors.
Yeah.
You know when they get a little bit old and dirty and they're a bit heavy and they get stuck, and every time you open it you feel like you're Kath and Kim's. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it's changing that, it doesn't cost much, but it makes a
little
difference.
things.
Little things, yeah.
So, but you know, doing it right, I think that's the key. Because we're a small town, your vendor's probably going to know your buyer and vice versa. Yeah. And you want to make sure you're handing them a really nice home and going to that little bit more effort when you're presenting or handing the home over to them on settlement day. So good point. But you know, like, it's just all comes down to workmanship, but they're the main things. Obviously, you know, it's up to buyers whether they do their due diligence, do a pest inspection, do those things. A building inspection will generally pick up structural issues, or a builder friend. You know, it's up to them, but. Not many people do pool inspections.
Yeah, that's interesting.
No, so you know, we had one done recently, which was pretty smart. So, good. I wish I had one done when I bought my pool. Yeah, a little bit. But that's the nature of the game. It is. Once you've settled on it, that's it. There's no coming back. You can't come back and say, oh, by the way, this is not working now. Yeah. It's your home. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Yeah, for sure. So, at the end of the day, it's really about putting in the effort, and honesty is 100%. Best. Yeah, best key. That's key to it. Yeah.
and help Mark do his job at the end of the help job.
Yeah.
Tongue-tied
Well,
today,
but it does, you know,
you know,
it always translates into more buyers presenting more offers, better offers, and you know, the buyer gets exactly what they want, and the vendor gets exactly what they want.
That's it.
That's the objective.
That's absolutely it. Excellent, guys. Well, I think we've covered a fair bit of stuff, and I guess also get onto your conveyances straight away so that you can, if anything comes up with those sorts of things like the easements and what else did I say before?
Covenants.
The covenants and things. Like if there's anything that you need to fix up and clear up with that you've got time to do that. So get onto conveyances straight away. And good tips from Scott at DBH Landscaping. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next week. If you need anything, you know where to find us. If you want anything answered, you know, it's our duty of care just to give out the value and to give you the information so that you get the best result for whatever you want to achieve.
See you next Tuesday.
He said I didn't. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.